Welcome back to the Moche Rip Curl Pros Top 10 on the Samsung Galaxy Championship Tour. We've got Josh Kerr and Michel Bourez hitting the lineup for Heat 11 of Round 3. Should be a good fight. Josh Kerr laying down the manoeuvre of the contest so far, a huge stalefish air reverse. In the first round, Michel Bourez fighting his way back from a broken hand earlier in the season and starting to really find some form with his heat performances. Let's see if he can match it with Josh Kerr in this battle.
I'm one to judge. I didn't get one either for the almost 10 years I was on tour, so I know how that feels, but you know, he's got the potential to win a handful of CTs.
Well, let's see how Michel Bourez gets started. Huge backside fin blast, can't ride out of it. But a sweet connection in the pocket there. A lost opportunity to maybe get a big number on the board early. It's been a rough second half to the season for Josh. You think back to Fiji, he was in 4th position on the ratings. He was doing so well. He's got a nice looking wall here. Takes off, drives off the bottom and just drifts that tail. He'll ride out of that move. Looking to add some points now with a section coming his way, building speed once again, and pop takes to the air and finishes with an air reverse on the inside. I think it's fair to say Josh Kerr is in good form.
He just is a big old beefcake. He, you know, splits waves in half with his power. So very different styles of surfing here on display. And right on cue, agile little tail flick, reverse air for Josh. So far, you know, this wave just looking pretty decent for a score, but he's going to add to it with this little click right here towards the beach. So just milking away at this lower tide, finding a score out of a kind of a funky wave.
Well, just on 24 minutes remaining with a decent looking wall approaching the lineup. Doesn't look like Michel Bourez is going to take it up though. Let's hear from the winner of the last heat.
Couple things I noticed in that heat. First of all, that Hail Mary backside 3, landed it, laid back, popped yourself back up. You've got tape all over your knee, and you still are battling. Tell us how you do it.
I'm super stoked. I made another heat, and so I did a couple mistakes in my heat, and I felt...
I love being a fly on the wall in a competitor's area. They all analyze each other's airs.
Well, here we go. Josh Kerr with a nice looking wall to play with. Already has a decent number on the board, 5.17 for his first wave. And has a good rhythm at the moment, but just catches that outside rail.
It's going to get more and more hollow with the afternoon.
You think about Margaret River where they're out there and the wind's howling. And they want to find out their situation. It's great to be partnered up with Samsung and getting that technology into these competitors' hands. But here we go, Josh Kerr. Just throws a tidy little air reverse, just makes something out of nothing there on the inside.
Very tidy. Nice finish there. You know, that wave didn't have a whole lot left to offer, but he squeezed out another little reverse. So Josh Kerr competing very well in these tricky conditions. So I like the way he's competing right now. He's really milking every point out of these waves. First turn, he's going to really set the fins free. Watch that tail block. Spins it right out the back. Quick little cut back, and the wave you would think is finished. But he's going to pop that board out and get just a cheeky little reverse before the wave's finished.
Amazing read on that end section, right on the inside, and Josh banks another 5.17. So Michel Bourez in second spot, looking for a 4.84 at this point in time with 17 minutes remaining.
See what that does to his psyche.
Seems like the judges are holding back on this scale just a little bit at the start of this heat as Josh races down the line, throws the alley-oop, continues with the revolutions out here at the moment.
Would have been definitely better than those 5.17s. But with the water draining off the sand right now, it's getting punchier and it's getting trickier. So really clean transition into that float. But again, it's always tough to predict what the wave's going to do to your board when you're trying to climb that lip. A lot of it had to do with his mentality. He said he was going into this heat, bang, with the intention of mixing it up. He didn't want to go out there and just go to the stock standard reverse. He said, you know what, I'm tired of it. I want to go out there and not really call the tour out, but just show like, hey boys, come on, let's start a movement here. Let's get a little techie with these grabs. So nice stale fish.
14.5 minutes to go. And Kerr's going to keep busy on the inside, getting some speed now. Opts not to hit that section. 5.5. And he's just had a pretty special wave during the break. We'll bring that to you in a moment. Here it is.
So Michel Bourez tucking in nice and deep. So getting way behind the curtain, and then a nice floater to finish there. So this is going to be the first big score of the heat. We're waiting for something to kind of break this heat wide open, and I think we just saw it right there in the form of a nice little pit and a floater.
Well, the numbers coming through now are 7.67, and Michel jumps up into the lead. The Tahitian is fighting his way back from injury. He suffered a broken hand. About the big news, Gabriel Medina can take the Jeep ratings lead with a victory. Well, Felipe Toledo is in the first heat of round 4. He can move to second place with the victory here in Portugal, as we see Michel Bourez up once again. He takes a fall. His last ride, a 7.67. Has put him out in front. Josh Kerr chasing an 8-point ride with 7.5 minutes to go.
We've seen a little more bubbly, kind of lighthearted Gabriel in the last couple of events, but that was an intense.
Well, here we go. Josh Kerr chasing a big score. He's deep in the barrel, still gunning, and he squeaks through the doggy door. A good read. We talk a lot about his aerial surfing, but Ross, he's pretty impressive in the tube as well.
We've seen a little more bubbly, kind of lighthearted Gabriel in the last couple of events, but that was an intense.
Well, here we go. Josh Kerr chasing a big score. He's deep in the barrel, still gunning, and he squeaks through the doggy door. A good read. We talk a lot about his aerial surfing, but Ross, he's pretty impressive in the tube as well.
He's one of the better barrel tube riders, I should say, on tour. He's amazing. Cat-like skills. He knows how to adjust inside of a barrel. That wave was tricky. It was really small. He had to come out the side door. That wasn't the traditional tube where you can just kind of come flying out into the channel. So a lot of reading going on, adjusting and reflexes. And to be honest, a lot of that is just something you're born with. And Josh Kerr is one of those guys. Not only does he know how to ride barrels, but he knows how to read waves. He's one of those guys, when you go free surfing with him, he's always on some of the better waves of the day.
Where do you think Josh's score will fall?
I don't feel like it's going to be up in the excellent range. But the cool thing for Josh Kerr is even if he betters a 5.17, it's going to make his requirement much lower. So a bit of a cleaner exit there for Michel Bourez, which is always a good thing, and also a finishing maneuver. So that wave was a 7.67. You'd think for this, it's probably going to fall under that. Slightly deeper, but again, one less move. But I like the fact that he's chipping away and getting rid of one of those 5.1s.
4 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Michel Bourez out the back with priority, keen to know the scenario. He wants to hear what Josh scored on his last ride and find out if he's going to be chasing a number, going into the final stages, or defending a lead. And here comes that score. And it's extremely close, but not enough for Kerr to move into the number 1 position. A 7.93, and the Australian is now after a 5.24.
I thought it was a pretty big score for that barrel. He definitely was really deep, but right now he's got to concentrate on the task at hand. 5.2.
Well, here goes Josh now without priority, flying down the line, a little speed float to arrive at this section, and he takes to the air, tidy reverse, and make sure he rides clear of that white water. 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Josh should probably be thinking back to those 5.17s from early on.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I mean, if you're going to try and, if you're a judge and you want to compare that ride, the scale is set at a couple of 5.1s. Is it better than those 5.1s? Remember, he had the little reverse on the outside and one more on the inside. Just a floater there. So all about getting down the line. Nice pop on that, clean, but he had to spend some time regaining, petting the kitty again, as we say, getting back out in front of the whitewash. This was the very first wave of the heat. Little tail waft into the channel. This is where that wave went funky and kind of fat. It split in two almost. Found a little high road. But I love this little pop tail waft to finish. So 2 nice maneuvers. Again, that's only a 5.17.
I like the other 5.17 too. The backside snap.
Left, yeah, in the lineup.
He's spinning all right out there at the moment. His head is spinning.
Watch this thing spit.
Chasing a 5.24. Kerr with a big section in front of him. Big alley-oop attempt. But he's not going to be able to stick it. A lot of impact as that wave shut down. 1 minute and 20 seconds to go.
That was really smart from Michel Bourez. He could have got sucked into just how amazing that wave was and turned around and got a little barrel, but he was too far on his shoulder. So that was so smart for him to pick up on the fact that Josh was not going to get a score, being that he was on the shoulder. That wave spit its guts out. That was one of the better waves we've seen today. If someone was behind that A-frame, they would have got an absolute pit. That's exactly right. 100%. Yeah, he had a big old ramp there, but that was always going to be a really tricky transition to land out of.
And here we go. 40 seconds to go. Michel Bourez utilises priority, blocking Josh Kerr. Drives up into that first section. Nice vertical snap. Gets hung up on the second move, though. Just milking this one through to the inside, looking for a finish. Trying to improve on a 5.5. 25 seconds to go. Josh Kerr out the back with priority and potentially has an opportunity here to snatch the victory from Michel Bourez. He is paddling. 14 seconds to go as he gets to his feet. Speed to burn, and he finds a ramp and clicks into an air reverse. Grabs that rail but cannot maintain control. And the heat comes to a close, and Josh clearly frustrated.
Yeah, he's not happy. Again, that was a hard-working heat for him. He was just trying to milk every point out of a million waves he caught. A lot of errors. He was working so hard, but just couldn't get a score.
His face is nearly as red as that jersey. He is super frustrated at this point in time. He wanted to have a big finish to the year. He wanted to get back inside the top 10. He came into this event in 12th position, but Michel Bourez in a really close battle. Have a look at that, just 0.07 separating these two surfers. And Michel is going to be moving on through to round number 4.